Hello, it is Dark Druid here again with another video. After only about a year of a break, which is crazy. Um, I want to start using this journal channel as more of like a journal. It's kind of putting out my thoughts and just kind of random things, whether it be philosophy, music, video games, just kind of whatever I want to talk about. I don't really feel like I have a point to talk about outside of this, or that I just want to kind of share with more people. Today we're talking about music. My playlist gonna be playing in the background, and then about like I don't know, like 3 or 7 minutes in, it changes to a playlist of songs I'm trying to get into or bands that I haven't listened to yet that I'm going to listen to. And today's video really came about because I was listening to Exodus, and I found a bunch of reviews on it saying the Queen vocals didn't fit, and I kind of started thinking, why does that actually matter? Why is that something that is important? "Quote unquote" fit of something in a song. And I've reported this like 5 times over now, and more I've like came to the same conclusion where it's like fitting is just a preference choice. Anything can fit in any song if somebody likes it, right? I personally would love a deathcore breakdown in like a Green Day song. Like that would be fucking sick, right? Like that sounds stupid and silly, and it probably wouldn't sound great in terms of a quote unquote fit. Why does that matter that it fits if it sounds good? Even if it's 2 parts don't blend well together and it's like, "Oh, there's 1 second where you go from the one style to the other doesn't sound good." It's like, "Okay, but the other 50 seconds of each part sounded good." Um, and even that quote unquote part that doesn't sound good, if you put a pause there, "Oh, there's a 1 second of silence, that sound good?" That's a preference choice. And that's what it is. Everything in music is a preference choice. If I listen to the Civil War in France and I'm hearing these super electronic melodic things in the background with someone just screaming their heart out as the vocals, I think that's really cool, and I like that. Where a lot of people will go, "Oh, this just doesn't fit at all. What is this? How is this, supposed to go together?" And that's really what it's about. If you like it, then it fits in the song. All right. Originally, that entire thing took 5.5 minutes because I think it's because that was the first time I was like really thinking about like, wow, what fits in the song really is just 100% preference. So I have 3 more minutes left, and I'm going to talk about production now and modern metal and stuff. And to me, production, I've always thought like production that creates something that could not be done without production is good, and production that makes the song sound less unique and covers up the mistakes of the artist isn't good. Production, for example, I think that is good is something like putting effects on a guitar. That's obvious, that's technically production, but I think that's good production. Or something I think that's bad is something like, oh, hey, I was 3 semitones off on that note. Adjust that a little bit just to make it sound 100% perfect. And obviously, it's a preference thing. If you like that kind of stuff, there's no hate towards you and there's no issue with that. I just don't like it because I'd like my music to have some kinds of mistakes or some kinds of like really unique quality to it. And that's why I'm kind of like less strenuous on like production and like deathcore and stuff like that because it's already going to inherently sound unique, right? Because there's no way to make stuff like that sound mass produced. I don't think. And you're gonna see me call me hypocrite 'cause there's like Slipknot and stuff on my playlist. I'm like, yeah, there's some stuff where that's not true. But I think that for the majority of what I listen to, that is like, for example, I can't really listen to a lot of Linkin Park. Like, I don't, of course, I can listen to it at a party or whatever. I'm not gonna be like, turn that shit off. But I just don't listen to it in my free time. I used to. There's literally one day where I just started listening to it. I was like, I just can't listen to this anymore. And consciously at the time, I didn't know why that was. And but looking back, I realized it's just because what I think is a little bit of overproduction, and that's makes me sound like such a loser, but I don't care. 'Cause ultimately, like I said, everything is a preference choice. And like I was watching an interview with Brian Garris of Knocked Loose, and he was talking about how at one point they had to make their producer leave in some mistakes from a drum circle, and I was like, oh, that's it really just like, struck a chord. It's beautiful. Anyway, yeah, in my opinion, production, if you want to overproduce a song, overproduce style, man, that's your choice. I'm just not a huge fan of production that does things like fix mistakes. So I think that a lot of the fun of music is in the imperfections of it. And I think that's what makes music human.